2. And welcome into the Bullpen Podcast. I am your host, Chris Krugman. Happy to be here with my main man, Adam Kunos. We are excited to be back in 2022. Happy New Year and all that fun stuff. We are brought to you by Fanatics. Go check them out for all of your baseball needs. I know we are in the middle of a lockout, but we will get through it, and they will continue to make merchandise. You can follow us at the Bullpen Podcast on the Twitterverse. Follow my man Adam at Kunos19. Follow myself at Shy Bears 1985. Interact with us on Twitter. We love questions. We love talking to fans about baseball, not of the show, of baseball, but of the show too. If you like, what we do every week, please let us know. Been missing you guys for the last couple weeks. I had a nice holiday season. Was just talking pregame with Adam about watching Christmas movies, such as Home Alone and Elf and Die Hard. Adam watched all the Harry Potter movies, which I approve of as a holiday movie, because they're there at the in the middle of school, and you see them go through the Christmas season and whatnot. So I love the Harry Potter movies. So I'm very proud of you, Adam, and the missus for watching all of those. How are you tonight, friend?
I am doing good. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2022. Yeah, we are definitely big Harry Potter fans. We are big Marvel Cinematic Universe fans. We saw Spider-Man No Way Home over the Christmas break. Absolutely loved it. Highly recommend seeing it if you haven't seen it.
Don't spoil it for me. I haven't gotten there yet.
I speak no spoilers.
Good deal, because we're a big MCU people in this house too. My wife is so funny, man. She was so quote unquote anti-nerd before she met me, and then slowly I got her to watch this and that, and then I'm like, hey, you maybe want to check out the Marvel universe, and she's like, all right, whatever. And she couldn't stop. She's like, this is the shit, let's go, let's watch them all. So we watched was there 19 or 20 some movies? We watched them all in a month. It was awesome.
Something like that. Yes. We've seen every movie in theaters on Disney Plus. We have majority of them. We still got to catch up on owning a couple of them, but yeah, we're huge nerds in this household. Let's be real.
Good stuff, man. Love it. Love to hear it. We're bullshitting about a lot of things that are not baseball related because there's not a whole lot going on, if I'm being completely honest. The lockout drags on. Today is January 12th. We are in day, God knows what, probably 30 plus, 35, 40 maybe. I don't remember.
42, lucky 42.
42. Jackie Robinson, man, Jack. People are upset. I'm upset now. That really made me sad. So it's okay. They have a plan to discuss the core economics coming up this Friday, I do believe. Adam, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that accurate information?
Yeah, it'll be on Thursday, a video meeting. It's going to be a new core economic proposal that Major League Baseball is going to throw to the Players Association. Do not have all the details on exactly what that will mean, but it is going to be a video meeting. Obviously, in this age of COVID and Omicron just kind of making its way around the country, we're still doing video conferences, Zoom, all that. So they will meet via video conference and kind of go over the proposal. Again, we do not have the entire legit of what the proposal will be. But as soon as we get that, we will definitely tweet it out with more information regarding it.
Yeah, there is. We don't know what it's going to be. But like you said, we are kind of starting to press a little bit of time, which I've seen, some other fans around the league say, January 7th or 11th or 15th was kind of their minor freak out date, to where they'd start to become concerned, because when you look at spring training, which it's kind of long, but that's okay. I mean, it's what they do. It's you kind of got to ramp up when you get into baseball training and baseball planning and whatnot. Plus, like, I mean, even before this year, free agency drug on into well into spring training. So it takes a little bit of a ramp up period, but players start to report, especially pitchers and catchers in that first week of February. So we are really 2 to 3 weeks away from when folks normally start to report. So it's a little concerning that we don't have the lockout worked out yet, but hopefully this core economics Zoom call will go well and we can get past that. My understanding is once they are past the economics portion of it, the rest of it should go by relatively quickly, being, DH rules, shift rules, things of that nature, rule changes, whatnot, robot umpires, which I'm a huge fan of because, listen, man, we're all human error, and if we can have machines that can do accurate jobs for people, then even better. But that's all beside the point. We're in the middle of a lockout. It's kind of crappy, but we do have a little bit of other news. Adam, how do you feel about the lockout in general? Do you think it's going to drag on? Do you think we'll get some progress tomorrow or Friday?
I'm hoping there's some progress. I mean, I'm not too optimistic right now because this is the first meeting that they're going to have since the lockout was put in place back in December. It's going to be a rough couple days after the meeting, I will say this. And I say that because you're meeting for the first time since the lockout. Obviously, you're starting off the year in a lockout. Each side is going to have its own take on what it wants to do. Major League Baseball has the way they want to run it with new rules, new implications, like you said, robot umpires, all that fun stuff. The Players Association have their own agenda. They want to make sure it gets put into this new CBA. So it's all about finding that common ground, that middle ground between the two sides. And I do not expect that this lockout will end after tomorrow. I believe there will be a couple more meetings down the road. There will definitely be at least more video meetings, more discussions between the two sides on hashing things out. Now, there could be a way that they could hash out at least one thing tomorrow. They can come to agreement on one deal, but that's not going to end the lockout. I hate to say that. That's not ending the lockout at all. They have to be on board 100% agreement, and with that, it's going to take a couple more meetings. It's going to take weeks. I'm hoping it doesn't take more months because obviously that's going to spill into spring training because, as you said, players start to report for spring training end of January, beginning of February. Players who have been injured last year, coming off season-ending injuries, want to report to their training facility early. They can start doing some more rehab work, start taking fielding drills, batting practice, running drills, just getting that emotion of playing again back under their feet because they've been rusty since they injured them. Nick Madrigal, who's now with the Cubs, is coming off a serious shoulder injury. He's probably going to be anxious to get back onto the field, start doing some throwing drills, start stretching out that arm and getting back to where he was last year prior to getting injury.
100%. Yeah, we're going to need these guys are obviously working out outside of their own, team facilities and whatnot. These guys are professional athletes, so they're out there doing their thing, but we do want them with the team doing those drills, getting that timing down with double plays and getting to know new teammates, recovering from injury, getting those that training staff work. All of that good stuff is necessary, but we don't have that yet. So hopefully we get more news soon. I think I saw a comparison to the last NBA work stoppage, and it wasn't really wonderful news or a wonderful comparison, saying that it drug on a couple more iterations of these types of talks. So really hoping we don't miss any baseball, which is kind of frustrating, I guess, overall that they always wait till the last minute. And I think players are just waiting for owners to see the writing on the wall that they're going to start losing money soon, Same thing with the owners and the players, that they'll start losing paychecks soon, or that they'll start needing those paychecks, relying on those paychecks. And a majority of, most sports are those guys that, surprisingly, like the rest of us in America, live paycheck to paycheck. Even though they're paid much better than most of us, they still have bills to pay and things of that nature. So let's get on with it, gentlemen.
Yeah, let's get on. Let's come to agreement and let's get the season started. Hopefully, we get the season started on time. It's honestly, it's just if you're a fan of the game, you're just pretty much waiting for that ESPN notification to come on your phone saying baseball, MLB, and MLBPA comes to an agreement, season to resume on this date. So you're just waiting for that news alert to come through. So, and again, I'm not going to be like it's going to be like a 94 situation to where they lost a lot of fans, but they're going to lose some fans from this.
The funny thing is I saw something the other day where somebody was like, how dare you send me notifications about spring training tickets right now? Because I think teams are sending out like spring training notifications, offering fans, deals on tickets. And it's like, shouldn't we have a season kind of planned before we start trying to push ticket sales on me? But I digress. They got to do what they got to do. And obviously the people in the ticket sales office aren't the ones running this lockout news. So no hate on them. We have had a little bit of other news regarding team hires, things like that. So we've had some changes in managerial hires. I believe all of the open managerial positions are now fulfilled. We'll start off with St. Louis, who filled their position first. We talked about him a little bit. Oliver Marmol, youngest manager in baseball now. Hopefully a good hire, because they let go of a playoff reaching coach or manager to get here. So hopefully that works out for St. Louis. I know a friend of the program, Adam Raymer, is super excited to see what Mr. Marmol has to offer the Cards. Next, we have the San Diego Padres, who hired Bob Melvin, which I think is a really good hire for them. Melvin was with the Brewers organization, I believe, most recently the A's organization. Adam, is that right?
Yeah, he was let go from the A's last season. He's been with the A's, I think, for a long time. I agree. Good hire for San Diego. They're bringing a playoff caliber manager on board to a very talented, heavy team. I think he's a good fit for that team. I think he'll work well with some of the younger players. He's worked with a lot of young players over in Oakland, and he's worked with a lot less in Oakland too. So, I mean, with their kind of financial situation over there, he has put together winning teams with not superstar caliber rosters, but he's actually put some really good teams on the field that have put challenges out towards a New York, a Boston, and Tampa.
Definitely. I have a take after we get through this, but Oakland, the Athletics went with former player Mr. Mark Kotsay. It just makes me feel old at this point when these guys that were, AA, AAA prospects when I was like super every single day looking at Baseball America, collecting baseball cards every single day, just hammering baseball, back when I, was a young pup and didn't have adult responsibilities that I couldn't spend 24/7 on, a sport. Mark Kotsay was coming up through, I think, the Marlins organization. I can't remember.
Yeah, Marlins. I think he was with the White Sox for a season or two. He's bounced around to a couple different clubs, I believe.
He did. He definitely did. I think he was part of that that Marlins minor league organization that had like Cliff Floyd and Renteria and like a bunch of those like guys that they end up all selling after they win World Series. But Katse is an interesting hire. He's another young manager. Um, we'll see how it works out. It seems like there's a theory, like two different theories, and I'll get to exactly what I mean here after we announce the best hire in all of baseball, the New York Mets bringing on Buck Showalter, three-time manager of the year, has managed in New York City before and done well, always turns programs around. Most recently was with Baltimore, and Baltimore's a shit show almost my whole life. So to be able to take them to the playoffs, to have a guy like Manny Machado and kind of manage through his ego, basically turn him into the superstar that he is. I think Showalter will do extremely well with the Mets, be that veteran voice that they need. And so what the trend seems to be is you either go with a young up and coming guy like a Katse or a Marmol, or you go with like the veteran guy like Melvin or Showalter. And the veteran guys, and going back to last year, it's Dusty Rhodes and Tony La Russa. Rhodes I think has been in Houston a little bit longer, obviously, than La Russa, who was just in Chicago last year. You have these talented, very, very talented teams that you want led by a veteran voice and a senior guy that's done it before, been there before. So I think that the Padres are extremely high payroll too is another portion of that. You got the Padres, very high payroll, lots and lots of talent on that team. You have the Mets, who went out and spent a boatload of cash, also had a ton of talent on that team before. Both those teams bring in the veteran guys. And then you have teams like Oakland. St. Louis is I'm still a little puzzled as to what they're doing, but whatever. Oakland, you mentioned it a little bit, Adam, being a little bit more frugal than other organizations, so they go with a younger guy, probably more cost effective for them. That's the trend I'm seeing. What do you think?
I think you hit it right on the bat with the hires. You either go with the experienced managers or you go with the up and coming. I mean, I think it depends on your organization on who you think is going to feel better to run that team. I'm going to dive into the Mets as a good example. They have a good young team over in New York. They built up a good team. They brought in a lot of key pieces for that team. So for that, you need an experienced manager who can put those chess pieces into play and put a competitive team on the field every single day. Now, if you're in the process of doing a rebuild, if you're starting something fresh, maybe you bring in that up and coming manager, like Oakland. I'm not sure if they're going into a rebuild, but maybe they bring in that up and coming manager like Mark Kotsay to start building something that team will be working towards for the next 5 years. So it depends on exactly where you're, as a GM, where your mind focus is. Are you in that we need to win now? We're in a winning mentality now, or are you in a we have a couple pieces that we still need to collect. We have some good trade pieces in play. Let's see how the seasons play out, and let's see how we do. So I think the best hire overall, and no offense to the Mets on this one, has to be Bob Melvin over in San Diego. You're bringing in a winning. I can see you're disagreeing, but hear me on this one. You're bringing over a manager who has competed against a very Astros heavy NL West, who has won the division, gotten to at least to the LCS a couple times, hasn't gotten over that hump of winning the LCS, but is known for taking teams to playoffs. I mean, he's had some good playoff run teams that unfortunately have run to some better teams. 2014, when he took the Athletics to the wild card game, they ran into a good Kansas City team. I think there was a 2019, 2020, where they ran to Houston, I believe, twice in the playoffs. So he is a good manager to bring in for that team. Now, can they avoid what happened last year? Is just having two main star players trying to run the team. If he can just lock that team down and say, "Here's how it's going to run," I think that team's going to be good. But it's San Diego. You don't know what you can get from that star-struck team out there in the Bay.
So, I was going to make a comment, but now I'm going to shut up because I was wrong. So yeah, Melvin is a 3-time manager of the year as well. 2007 with the Diamondbacks, 2012 and 2018 with the A's. So he is a winner. He's been in the game more recently than Showalter. We'll see which one works out better. Obviously, it's not going to be a 1-for-1. Showalter, 3-time manager of the year, 94 with the Yankees, 2004 with the Rangers, 2014 with the Orioles. Last with the Orioles in 2018. Melvin was with the A's in 2021. So I think both are going to be good hires. We'll find out who is who's more successful in their role. It's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be a 1-for-1. But Katse is an interesting hire. He was a bench coach for the A's for the last 5 years, so it's pretty much just a promotion. Was a coach with the Padres before, did come up as a player with the Marlins in 97, was with the Pods, the A's, the Braves, the Red Sox, the White Sox, the Brewers, and then back to the Padres again. So was the College World Series most outstanding player in 1995, which that's a fun tournament. That's a fun award. Good for Mr. Katse. So, new managers at the major league level, always it's at least something to talk about. I can only speak to the Mets as far as their bench coaches and things like that, what they've brought in. The only one I even know of is Eric Chavez, like who he is. I know they've been denied a couple bench coaches. I don't know who Katze's hired or Melvin or Marmol as far as bench coaches. I probably wouldn't know who they are anyway, unless they were former players. But we had a really awesome progressive hire in the Yankees organization. Adam, why don't you let the folks know what happened there?
Yeah, so the Tampa Bay Tarpons, single A affiliate of the New York Yankees, hired Rachel Balvovec, first female manager in professional baseball. She will be the manager for the single A Yankees affiliate down in Tampa. And it, like you said, Chris, a definitely progressive hire for the game of baseball. She becomes the first female manager in professional baseball history, kind of breaking those boundaries, and a really good progressive step for baseball. A little background about her within baseball. She was announced to the Yankees as the newest hitting coach at the start of spring training in 2020s. Again, she was the first woman to hold that position full time. She also interviewed for quality control coach with the San Francisco Giants in fall of 2019, but went with the Yankees. Since the COVID pandemic postponed the 2020 season, she coached in the Australian Baseball League. She was on the coaching staff for the 2021 All-Stars Futures game. So she has definitely been around the game the last couple of years, both in the United States and across in Australia. So she definitely has a good baseball background. And I mean, good for her. And this is definitely a good move for baseball, a right move for baseball, in my opinion. If this game wants to progress, this is the way that you progress this game, is becoming more inclusive and not just looking towards men running baseball teams. Also, you can look at females running baseball teams. You have the first female GM down in Miami. Now you have a female coach in single A baseball. So I think that this is just going to be another stepping stone for baseball becoming more progressive and just more inclusive to everyone.
Yeah, she's got quite the resume. D1 softball player at New Mexico, has been a strength and conditioning coach and trainer for years and years. Did a front office internship in the Dominican Republic, learned Spanish which is something that is absolute necessity nowadays in baseball, with it becoming such an international sport, especially in the Latino and Hispanic speaking communities. Did a strength and conditioning internship with the White Sox. Was a minor league strength and conditioning coach with the Cardinals, the Astros. Has her master's in biomechanics. She did a apprentice hitting coach apprenticeship in the Netherlands. Just an amazing woman. So great first resume for women at the Major League Baseball level to become a manager. So congrats to Coach Rachel. I don't want to butcher her last name, so I'm just gonna Balkovec, I guess, Coach Rachel Balkovec for the Tampa Bay Tarpons, and we are excited to follow her career, see how it goes, and hopefully it opens the door for more ladies to be part of the game at this level. Interesting thing that happens on Twitter is, people start to put out polls and things like that. And one of the polls that I saw recently was, what are your favorite, or what's your Mount Rushmore? So basically your top 4 movies about baseball. And honestly, one of mine is A League of Their Own. And it's a great movie if you haven't seen it. Obviously, it's about when the United States went to war, and baseball, a lot of baseball players went to war as well. Women took over baseball and did quite well. There's an entire segment in the Baseball Hall of Fame about it. There were, I think, 4 teams, 6 teams, 8 teams, something like that. Can't remember exactly how many. The story is basically around the Rockford Peaches. It's got Madonna. It's got Rosie O'Donnell. It's got Tom Hanks. Great movie. But as far as like my Mount Rushmore of movies, and the funny thing is I missed one of the biggest ones in Field of Dreams. But I think I said, oh goodness, now what did I say? I can't even remember. Anyway, Adam, tell us about your thoughts on the coach, and then your Mount Rushmore of baseball movies.
Again, I think this is incredible for her to be coaching at, even though it's a single level, a professional league level. This is definitely be a good step for her. I do wish her the best of luck in the Yankees organization, and hope to see her move on to moving up into the professional level, hopefully making it one day to coaching Major League Baseball. I think that would just be a wonderful thing for the game of baseball. Again, I wish her the best of luck going forward down in Tampa. As for my Mount Rushmore of baseball movies, this is a tough one. I'll have to say Major League, the first Major League, I believe the 80s Major League movie that first came out. Bull Durham, obviously Field of Dreams. And then I'm going to have to throw A League of Their Own in as well. I, again, love that movie. I mean, my family quotes that movie a lot. We love that movie. I think our favorite line is, "There's no crying in baseball," or "You're going to lose." And Tom Hanks throws a baseball, hits the kid square in the head. I mean, there's just a bunch of good one-line quotes from it. And, of course, I'm missing a lot of other movies like For Love of the Game. There's just a ton of baseball movies out there that I just love, and honestly, I can't really name off the top of my head because there's that many.
Yeah, there's like The Natural is a
There's
solid
one.
Movie.
What
Trouble
else? Trouble with the Curve, that Amy Adams movie with Justin Timberlake on scouting in minor league baseball. I actually really enjoyed that.
I thought it was. I mean, I don't know. Oh, I got a good one. Oh shit! Now I'm gonna forget the name of it.
The Rookie with The Rookie, the Disney movie with you
want to go Disney? You got to go Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield, yeah, I can't forget Angels in the Outfield. That was a good movie.
You got The Scout with Brendan Fraser and that other dude, Al Brooks. Anyway,
I think so.
And then you got The Fan with Dustin Hoffman and Willie Snipes, where he's a baseball player, and that dude's a creepy freak fan, but that's not really about baseball. What was the other one I was just thinking of?
There was one Naked Gun that involved I think it was Reggie Jackson being like brainwashed to kill the queen. So I mean, that's kind of a baseball movie if you go.
Got there. Baseball in it. If Die Hard's a Christmas movie, why not?
Exactly.
There was something else. There was another one I was just thinking of. And then you got, Rookie of the Year. You've got the Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore one.
Oh yeah, Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch. That's a great movie. I love that movie. And that story is awesome, obviously. And like the story of the movie and them doing it the year that, they didn't plan for the Red Sox to win the World Series that year. I mean, obviously you didn't. It was all that movie was in production well before they won the World Series, and they actually had to adjust the end of the movie because the Red Sox won the World Series, and that makes that movie 1,000 times better.
I believe they were close to wrapping up when the Red Sox actually started this streak in 2004, and they actually started rewriting it once they made the World Series, and they flew Barrymore and Fallon down to St. Louis, and because they're actually on the field celebrating with as the Red Sox are celebrating the World Championship, which I thought was just a cool experience for them. I mean, I would love to be on the field during a World Series celebration.
Yeah, definitely. That would be something else. What's the one about the twins where that kid comes?
Little Big League.
I like that movie too. Oh yeah, Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck. There's a shit ton of baseball movies. Like, you start breaking it down, there are an absolute grip of baseball movies that are very, very watchable at the very least, if not very good. So
I think we may have to throw a poll on Twitter on what is your favorite MLB movie. I think we may throw that up sometime tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that.
Be on the lookout. Make sure you vote because it's a great topic, and it's if there's one that I'll check out. I don't think I've seen Trouble with the Curve. There's also some very bad baseball movies, like I think one's called Summer Catch or something like that with Freddie Prinze and one of the Jessicas. It's just
I think I know which one you're talking about.
It's so cheesy, so cheesy. But either way, I love baseball movies, and it's good stuff. And Little Big League has Ken Griffey Jr. in it, which was awesome. Sandlot. Jeez.
How do we forget the Sandlot? I mean, shame on us for forgetting that movie.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's just too many. There's too many to like my memory. I'm old. I can't remember things like I used to. And Sandlot's a fairly old movie, so I'm gonna blame it on all of that. But it doesn't mean that we can't. You go to the internet while we talk to you folks, get this information and talk about it, because Sandlot's one of the best. But onward and upward. Again, congratulations to Coach Balkovec. Wish her luck. We've had some other recent news. John Lester, the great left-handed pitcher for the Red Sox, A's, Cubs, Nationals, and Cardinals, has retired. I don't think he went 2,117. I think that's supposed to be 200.
It is 200.
We're gonna speak to the producers about that and get our information correct. But he was a 5-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champion, 2016 NLCS MVP, and threw a no-hitter, which, I mean, just to make the majors is such a cool accomplishment. But to throw a no-hitter, good stuff, man. John Lester retires, so congrats on that. What do you think of Mr. Lester's career? He was a crosstown rival and obviously played for the Red Sox during their run, like we just talked about.
Yeah, it was part of 2 Red Sox championships, 07-13. Obviously helped the Cubs break that 116-year curse. I mean, he was a good pitcher. I mean, there's no telling about it. He had a good pitching arsenal when he took the mound. He was reliable. He actually had a pretty good bat too. I think he was a if I remember correctly, a pretty decent hitter as a pitcher. So I don't have the stats in front of me, but I mean, I'll say to win one World Series is a good accomplishment, but when you do it for two teams who haven't won in a very long time, obviously the Red Sox second championship was since 04 was in 07, and then to win it again in 13. But then to go over to the Chicago Cubs and take the Cubs to the NLCS in 2015 and then go right back and win it the following year, it's just an amazing accomplishment. So 2016 NLCS MVP. I mean, overall good career. Not going to speculate Hall of Fame because I think it's a little. I don't know if he has the numbers to make the Hall of Fame. I think he will get a good number of votes, but I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, unfortunately. I mean, I could definitely see him going into the Red Sox, probably Cubs Hall of Fame individually, but I don't think he has enough to get into Cooperstown.
I was looking at his advanced pitching stats and thought that those were his batting numbers, and I was like, this guy was incredible.
Ooh.
He hit over 250 his entire career as a pitcher. That's bananas.
Holy shit.
No, that's not it. I'm an idiot. So I can't find his actual hitting statistics because I'm a dummy. But either way, John Lester was a solid pitcher. Never really like somebody to blow you away. Wasn't a big strikeout guy, but definitely had a good arsenal, good curve if I remember correctly. So hats off to John Lester. Congrats on your retirement, my friend. Enjoy. And then we did have one last piece of news that I wanted to get in between talking about a fun, baseball movie stuff and then have John Lester retire. But Gene Ramirez from the Tampa Bay Rays passed away on yesterday. Sadly, was a bullpen catcher for them. Very young, 93 to 2022. So math is not working right now because it's late, but I can do a calculator. And he was only 29 years old. So that is very sad. So rest in peace.
Yeah, our condolences to his family, to the entire Rays organization for this loss. Is not something you want to have to deal with at the beginning of the year. I'll read a quote from Kevin Cash. He said he brought so much passion and energy each day to our clubhouse and the bullpen, and his love for the Rays and baseball, which was evident to all he interacted with him. He had the biggest heart and most infectious smile. And they extended his deepest condolences to his friends and family. Eric Nealer, president of baseball operations, said Gene played a role in our organization. It was the most recent bullpen catcher for our major league team. He was a caring teammate and friend. He just brought he excluded so much joy as he did. He was kind-hearted and was a true gift to all. So, I mean, just some of the words that are coming from within the Rays organization show how much of an impact he made to this team. And again, our condolences here at the Bullpen Podcast go out to his family and friends, all baseball who he played with, and definitely the Rays organization during this time. And again, our condolences to them.
Definitely condolences to the Ramirez family and the Rays organization. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot to talk about. So it's been a good 40-minute podcast, though, and that's solid for an off season that has been kind of slow anyway. Hopefully, we'll get some news within the next couple weeks before we talk to you guys again about the lockout. Maybe we'll get some free agency news. Maybe we'll get some pitchers, catchers reporting news. Maybe some trades. Maybe some hot stove stuff. So looking forward to that. Mr. Kunos, do you have anything else you'd like to talk to the folks about tonight?
Nope. Again, as you said, it's our first show of 2022, so kind of not a lot to talk about with the lockout. Hopefully, there's some more topics coming forward. We'll get some more hot stove movements once the lockout officially ends. We'll hopefully see some more signs, some more trades, and hopefully talk about some spring training. As we get further into the year, we'll probably do our season picks closer towards the start of seasons. We'll make some predictions and just get ready to dive into this 2020 season. Will be our first full season covering Major League Baseball here on the Bullpen Podcast.
We're definitely going to have some future bets too. We're going to place some bets. Maybe we'll even place some live bets on some futures this year, and we'll put our money where our mouth is and say, you know, who do you have winning each division? Who do you have winning each conference? And who do you have winning the league? I knew that was wrong. I was like ALCS. Wait, something's wrong here. I'm like, there's a C in there, but that's definitely not. I told you, folks, it's late. I'm tired. Let's go. I'm excited for this season, though. I'm excited to get this damn lockout over. I hate work stoppages. It's all a bunch of greedy bastard shit. So, Adam, it was good to talk to you, man.
You as well. Good to see you. Let's do it, man. Let's get into it.
All right, dude. Everybody, have a great night, and we will talk to you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.